Hello, people.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
We're good,
Good.
thanks. What
Man,
about
it's
you?
been a long time. I've been wanting you guys to come on a show for like 3 months, 4 months. I think you guys were busy. So, welcome to my first episode, second season. We've known each other for a while. So, I'm going to ask yourself to introduce who you guys are. I'll start with the rank order. So, let's start with Master Lad.
Okay. So my name's Chandresh Lad. Known Kapil for good 25 years, if not longer.
96?
No, 30, nearly 30 years
30
actually.
years, yeah,
1995.
yeah.
Been training martial arts and being good friends
Yeah.
ever since. So, yeah.
So my name's Sohail Chowdhury. I'm a fourth degree martial artist. And I think I've known you 27 years. That means that if
Did I do your induction or no?
No,
We're just talking
Piyush
about.
did my
Oh,
induction.
yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Welcome, dude. Good to
you.
see you as well. That's such a long time.
And you.
And also,
yeah.
congratulations on your marriage as well.
Oh, thanks. It's been a year now.
Yeah, we've not seen you
But
since.
you were there.
It's been hiding.
Yeah, that's it. Mr. P.
Yeah, I'm Manish Patel. I'm third degree black belt, and I think we've known each other for 22 years, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
since
more.
Since I had hair, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, since
Yeah.
Wembley North. Well, we were talking about it when you
Yeah.
your big boxing gloves when you kept punching me in the face because I kept staring at the gloves.
Yeah, I remember that. I had a head guard as well, I think. Head guard and
Yeah.
gum shields.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
and
stuff.
the big American gloves with
Yeah.
the American flag print on them. I was mesmerized by the print. I kept looking at the gloves, and he kept punching me in the face.
That was his tactic.
Since, I've known you guys in the martial arts kind of arena, but outside that, what do you guys do, Master Lad?
Forget you keep calling me Marcel. I'm a software product manager, so that's kind of like I teach martial arts, kind of part time, and full time. I am a software product manager, so I've been working in that kind of field, finance and product management and computers for good nearly 20 something years as
Oh,
well.
okay. How do you manage time with family and martial arts, and work as well? It's quite not easy. So,
There's a lot of plate spinning,
Yeah.
I have to admit. So it's also about prioritization. So I know a lot of people who just have a job
Yeah.
or just do martial arts, and it's a challenge because you're trying to kind of work out what's the best way to handle thing always, and for me, life, family, most
Yeah.
important thing. Having a full-time job is also important. The martial arts is something that I do and I've got a passion for. But yeah, and I had a son 5 years ago, and then that also readdresses where your priorities lie
course,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, and I enjoy it. And I always say to myself that if I had to make a call, family and all of that is always first,
Priority,
obviously.
Of course.
So
Sir, what you?
So outside of martial arts, I'm basically a software tester. So similar to field to Chan. So I do contracting right now. So I go to different companies, test their software, and say this is your problems, and help them get fixed. Help them to fix them, and then retest them. So that's what I do.
Okay. Cool.
And
So,
me.
yeah.
So outside of Choi, martial arts, I'm a pre-sales leader. So I work with software companies and in the sales team to help sign deals.
Okay.
And I also run my own e-commerce business on the side.
And how's that going?
It's good. It's busy.
Yeah.
The Q4
You
is
do
always busy.
online stuff as well, something, yeah?
Yeah, that's the
the
e-commerce
one.
side. Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
Amazon, Etsy. That's
That's
busy.
kind of, That's kind of a side hustle for you.
Yeah, side hustle, which is actually quite busy. So
Okay.
it's a nice balance. Yeah.
Cool. What got you guys into martial arts? I asked this question to all the martial artists when you were, I don't know, in your 20s, I guess. So what made you, did you want to be an instructor, or you just went in there to learn and become a black belt?
well, me and you started at the same time.
course,
We were
yeah.
both beginners
Yeah.
at around the same time. I think we're looking at early 1995.
95, 96, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd always wanted to do martial arts at that point in time, but for me it was very much my mum kind of pushed me into it a little bit.
Okay.
She was like, "Oh, you're sitting on your posterior at home, not doing anything on Saturdays. Why don't you try and find a hobby?" And then one of her friend's sons, Ashish, I think, if you remember, he
Mr. Mehra, yeah.
he used to train with our instructor, Master Keith Banfield, and I was introduced, and then for me, it was like just a journey that something I could really resonate with, something that I really wanted to do. My initial kind of thing was I just want to be a black belt. It was cool. It was something that was really like exciting. And, black belt is this standard that everyone kind of knows about. But then the more I trained, the more I got into it, then teaching was just part of that kind of dynamic. And then, it was
aspect of it came into play.
But less of the business. I think for me, it was, I was studying still around that time. And then even after I started working full time, my aspirations to open up like my own school came quite late. At least, a good 10 plus years after I started training. And then it was more something that I feel I can do this, but, there's always a gamble there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. What about you, sir?
So a number of things, I think. Like Chan said, it's just cool.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was a big inspiration.
Yeah.
Tyson, as in boxing.
Yeah.
Same with like Frank Bruno, Chris Eubank. So I watched these guys and I thought, oh, what is this? What is this kind of fighting? But it all came back to martial arts.
Yeah.
Saw a couple of schools, but it was really expensive back then. So there was always that element of the unknown and the curiosity. Another factor was always bullying in school. So friends got bullied, we got bullied, I got bullied. And you just wanted to stand your ground a little bit.
Yeah.
So there was like I said, there was the point of it just being expensive. So you kind of speak to your parents and they go, no, we can't get into that. Let's leave that out. Let's do something else, find something better, something maybe that's free. But luckily enough, Piyush came. He was actually a student at school previous to me.
Yeah.
And then he came, he wanted to bring back martial arts to the school. And he did an after school club and there was a leaflet went around. I thought, oh, this looks all right. Let me try this out. So then I went along and I did one lesson and I was the only student there because nobody else was interested. They were all interested in like table tennis or some other kind of after school activity that they couldn't do at home. I went along, done the lesson. I thought, wow, this is amazing. I did like maybe after that 2 or 3 sessions and then Piyush said to me, why don't you come down to the main class? I think you'd really like it. And then he brought me down.
Secret Fight Club, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, what's this? What do you mean? He goes, we're going to go to a real martial arts school. This is just a setup. We're just starting out here. But when he come down, and I thought, oh, okay. And then I said to my mom, guess what? The school's doing martial arts. I'm going to go to a real club. So I go down, and he picks me up actually on that day. He picks me up. We go down, and then I met you guys, basically. You were all there. And then I don't know if I should actually say this because it's really embarrassing, but I met Chan on that day and Piyush introduced him as a Bodan to me. Yeah. And so let's not talk about what Bodan actually was for this point, but let's just assume what I thought is real. So in my mind, I just go, oh, he's a grandmaster. And I was like in this aura of that, the most amazing martial artist that I've ever met. And I was like, Piyush, he's a grandmaster, right? He goes, no, he's a Bodan. And I was like, what does that actually mean? And he goes, well, that means that you're on your path to becoming a full black belt, and it's a pre-black belt.
Yeah. It's a probationary
black belt.
Right. Yeah.
So you get that, and then you do the full final test, and then you get your black belt with your name on it, and then you get all of that. But those are the things that inspired me, basically. Cool. Bullying and the curiosity and the fact that it's just cool just to do something like that.
That's good.
And here we are nearly 30 years later, 27 years later.
Cool, man. Master P.
Yeah.
Master P.
Again, like you all said, I found it cool. I used to watch martial arts movies all the time. And my dad always wanted me to get into martial arts because my younger cousins, way younger than me, they were doing it, but I wasn't, and I just didn't. I was more into football at the time when I was younger. I was playing football a lot more, and then I never really had a chance to do it. And I think it was when I was around 17. So again, other factors like you said, bullying and just the environment, and just like the cool factor, right? I saw an advert in a newspaper, and I just saw this martial arts. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what it was. I just rang the number. This is before you had the internet. Yeah. I was 17. And internet had just come out, so back a newspaper, called up Master Banfield, answered the phone, and he just went into, I don't know, promotion mode, like in terms of saying what the martial arts about, why it's good for you, blah 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 blah, and then he mentioned free class, and I was like, right.
How long is the free class?
I was like, I've forgotten what you
Tell
just
me
said,
more.
but I just heard the word free. So like, right, I'm going to come. And then I went and I just never
That was
stopped.
it.
That was it. Yeah, I got the bug. I did do other martial arts afterwards because I always wanted to try other things, but I always came back to the same one. But yeah, once I was there, I got the bug. Yeah.
You mentioned that in that era, internet was just at the beginning of the phase. Now, the things we have, I mean, evolution of social media and all this stuff. Do you see the martial arts the way they market it? All amazingly good-looking people, amazing movements, male and females. Do you think that is the martial arts, or do you think somebody who follows bell system and they wear uniform and they have integrity and all that kind of stuff, and they like almost like a religion that doesn't get promoted as much sometimes? It's all about looks and strength and power and speed. Where do you see these things go in the future? How far? Where it'll affect art like you guys, we do as well. We're very traditional. Will that be still around, or will the modern martial arts take over, kind of?
I think it's I think there's like, it will continue going in this area because social media is what social media is, right? Very visual, very beautiful, right?
Like we all are today.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. But so I think the traditional martial arts will still be there. There's always going to be a place for traditional martial arts, and then there are going to be, the clips that you see on social media. It doesn't take away from the fact that there's still a martial art, right? A martial arts is universal. There's different styles. There's derivatives of the traditional styles and different styles. If you look at something like capoeira in Brazil, if you don't know it's a martial arts, it looks like a funky martial arts dance thing. But it actually came from the point where they couldn't show a fighting style, so they mimicked a dance movement, but they incorporate martial arts into it, right? It looks beautiful, right?
Very mesmerizing.
Very mesmerizing, right? To the untrained eye or people who don't know what it is, right? It just looks like a dance. But, there are different styles, right? If you go to somewhere like Japan or Korea, they're very, they have their traditions and they try and keep to their traditions. If you look at sumo, I'd call that a martial art, right? It is a way of fighting or a style.
It's a combat style.
It's a combat style, right?
Yeah.
So I think the traditional styles will stay there. There will be evolutions of the traditional style as people understand body movements. Look at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the emergence of MMA and UFC. Before, you'd do one art and stick in that one art, and you think, okay, karate is the best, taekwondo is the best, this is the best, that's the best. And then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes around in a mixed martial arts competition and annihilates any kind of competitor which is bigger or smaller. Then there's a learning of, right, it's not just that you don't actually need to throw a punch, but you can grapple and wrestle someone down. I think that the continuous learning of body, health, and different styles would just keep evolving. So you'll have tradition and you'll have the evolution of that.
But do you think one person defines the entire art? Like you mentioned Bruce Lee, if he was alive, would you say Jeet Kune Do would be like really big martial art? Because one or two people who are amazing in what they do, their entire style is named after them, or or name that they choose, and it sells. When that person goes away, then no one can replace that person. But the art has to carry on. But it's only one or two people to define that art. And I sometimes think, how do you manage? If your school, you are the, one day you'll be a GMC, a Grandmaster. So when something happens to you, in 30, 40 years' time, do you think people will still join the art because you're no longer there and you can't perform? Other people cannot perform like you used to perform.
I think a lot of this is relative, and the whole thing around social media is also, it's got its pros and cons. Like Bruce Lee in his day was like a superstar, but in his early days he wasn't, and he had to build his career up. But he's legend, and social media came way after that. But it's other people who's taken his name forward and have adapted to the times, and this is what martial arts has had to do, every industry has had to do it. Every industry has had to get on board and follow, and as much as you might not like it, you need to adapt and evolve, or what's going to happen is you get left behind. So martial arts has done the same as everyone else. Yeah, even me, when I started my school up 21 years ago now, it wasn't a social media age. Promotion was very much about little clips in the newspaper, leaflets, things like that. Word of mouth is still a big thing. Leaflets is still a thing. But people don't really go in yellow pages. All of that's online now. Exactly. But like that's all like online now. It's like Yell or what have you. Now it's all about online reviews. Social media plays such a big thing, but then at the same time as it being a positive, can be a negative. All you need is something to go wrong, and then you get the negative connotation of that. So to your first point, it's really great in the sense that it can really help build something, but it's so destructive in its own right, because something could go wrong and then it could destroy your reputation like that. So there's pros and cons, I think.
But there's some styles that are more popular, like jiu-jitsu, taekwondo and stuff. You can find them in many areas. Looking for an art that Bruce Lee taught, there are not many schools. You have to search for them or travel far away. So is it because it never caught on, or because it's just not many instructors are available? Even like Silat and Bagua, they are Indonesian, Malaysian martial art styles. It's very difficult to find them in local areas. You have to actually travel far away. That's why I was trying to
I think it's the popularity.
This
right?
is it,
So, but
The
also
person
the
who-
area,
yeah.
right? So if you think of like, let's say 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot of Shaolin Kung Fu schools opening up, right? High prices for comparative like other classes. But they didn't, like the amount of schools that popped up at one point, because there was a surge, and then how many closed. Because I think the popularity moved. And I think, what we see now, we're looking at, again, MMA plays a massive part, right? And you've got a mix of styles, which a lot of people want to do. But there was a rise, emergence of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? When UFC started spiking, everyone looked at that and thought, oh my God, this is like really, really good. And it is. I've done Jiu-Jitsu. It is hard.
It is really
but it's amazing what you learn about your body and others and what you can and can't do. But there was a spike in that. And the popularity stayed because I think maybe because of the popularity of UFC and mixed martial arts, and it's just a really high viewed sport. But also maybe the effectiveness. I'm not saying any other martial arts is not effective in what it does, but I think it's all to do with popularity, like you said, feeds into TV, social media. I think those martial arts will stay. There are going to be demographics of areas of where the schools are, right? So, you look at, let's say here, wherever this location is, which I won't reveal, if you had a Silat class open up down the road, would it be as popular as maybe 2 miles away and they had a I don't know, a taekwondo class or a mixed martial arts school? We don't know. If it's not, a lot of them don't catch on, right? I know what Silat is.
It depends on the coach as well who's teaching it.
It depends on the coach and the school. And if you have a really bad teacher, it won't catch on, right? And people will start to realize it's not a great school. It's not as good as the other one down the road.
It's a multi-layered question, I think, as well, because you have to remember that for a martial art to grow, or any kind of style or discipline, you need to have decent instructors, you need to have growth, you need to have that growth to happen exponentially as well. And then you need, you're building a reputation, you need to have decent coaches, and then also that following grows incrementally. But then that's not always the case. And it can be, as you say, location based, like, where we were. The schools that we've trained at, they're all centered around a certain location, and you'd get those kind of dots up. And then someone might move and want to kind of open up a school where they are, but then they have lack of support and things like that as well. So there's so many things to consider there.
So like maybe to sum everything up, everything is like two sides of a coin. So you have the discipline side and you have the popularity side. So like Taekwondo became really famous because of the Olympics, not just because of the great masters that were behind it, but mainly because of the Olympics. So the popularity built and spread. Things like Jeet Kune Do, which is Bruce Lee's martial art, it's not necessarily in the Olympics, or nor has it ever been there. So the popularity is not as much as it could have been. But I have met some instructors who are probably like third generation or second generation from Bruce Lee, so almost like the grandchildren of Bruce Lee's teachings. They are really good in the art, and they will actually turn around and say, you know, Bruce Lee would be proud of me. I've learned a lot and I've pushed his art forward. But they're just not getting that that mainstream media, shall we say, the exposure and the traction. But then that's what makes the instructors, the group of instructors, shall I say, just less. There's just less of them around. But if you go to their schools, they're quite popular and they're quite good in their own right. So they just need that little bit of exposure, I think. But coming back to the original question about discipline, that some of it has been taken away from mainstream media. But if you go to some of the more traditional schools, like Manish mentioned about some of the Japanese arts, karate, even sumo, you do find that discipline is still there. The old teachings are still there because they're what the fundamentals of the art are. And they're the reasons why the belt system maybe came about to say, right, okay, this student has achieved this and they're showing me this, they've demonstrated these moves and they've demonstrated this set of discipline, so they can go to the next art. So it's also shown in the belts to say that this student has got that discipline of that art. And you'd kind of expect that as well. So if you saw a really high black belt, like a fourth dan or a fifth dan, you'd expect them to show a certain amount of discipline, humility, and just to be humble, basically, and a good all round person, but also a good practitioner. So
there's also an element about what's mainstream as well. So like as you say, taekwondo in the Olympics, you know, karate. It's like associated with Cobra Kai, which is such a big thing right now. Those kind of things. That you can't compete with that. Like Bruce Lee, for the time, and Jeet Kune Do was his art. But then, like, who's bringing that forward? Who's still mentioning that in popular culture? It's not as much, really.
We need to find an Eagle fan karate school.
Yeah.
Since we are all men here today, there's a lot of, I don't know, I see it in media, a lot of male bashing going on about toxic masculinity and all that kind of stuff, and rotate, and a lot of young people following people on YouTube, mentors and stuff. And I think I'm just wondering where this has come from, why young people are finding things from social media or YouTube to get some kind of mentorship, and they've been told that only by doing this you can get a nice car, a good looking woman, and lots of money. You have to do this and that, and there's so much following in that kind of field. Do you think there is such thing as toxic masculinity, or is it just men who are behaving in different way and they've been labeled toxic?
No, I'm gonna probably be the villain here. Okay. I wouldn't say there's toxic masculinity. There's probably ego. That's what it really is. But things have been labeled as toxic masculinity. But if you went 100 years back, people were getting married at the age of 10 and they were considered men, and they had to portray themselves differently to
in some tribes, African tribes,
to the way that we get to just relax, look at YouTube, sit at home behind a computer, we never meet anyone. And then you just get kind of frustrated with the rest of the world. You meet someone, you're like, I don't want to see them again. So it just kind of gives you that. But I don't believe in toxic masculinity as such. I believe there is a bit of male ego, but males as a whole should help each other rather than be egotistic. So I see this in the gym. You see somebody, they can lift heavy, they're really strong. They're dedicated to what they did and how they got there and what they do, but they don't help other people. That's ego. Male masculinity or toxic masculinity could, you can group it to say that if that guy just went round helping everyone just by like saying, look, don't do your bench press like that, just turn your elbows in a little bit and grip the bar this way, not that way, you'll see you'll be able to lift a little bit more and you'll feel a lot better about yourself. That would, you can turn around and say that's not toxic, that's actually helping others. But I would change that word to male ego rather
ego.
than
But I would say,
masculinity.
how do we define
male.
toxic masculinity? Or give me an example of definition. That's the first
How
step.
do you define masculinity, first of all? What is that before you put the word toxic into it? So, what is that we do?
I don't know,
that
you
makes
asked
it
a question,
masculine?
isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, what do you do as a human being that's masculine, what's feminine, and then how do you add that word toxic?
Well, when you ask the toxic masculinity, how would you define toxic masculinity? I'll ask you the question.
Yeah, thing is,
So
in the media, when somebody is, living the life and saying things what they want.
are we specifically talking about like Andrew Tate?
Yeah, could be
this
other
brother?
than it's not only just him. There are a lot of people who
I've got
live
an
their
opinion
lives
on
their
that,
way.
but we won't even go into
They,
that,
they
but-
live their lives their own way. They don't care. They
Yeah.
speak their mind.
Yeah.
And
I
you
think
know,
there's
if it hurts
also-
other people, that's cool. It's fine. It's their freedom of speech. So, I think, is that masculine, or is it because, like you said, because their ego and they've got things in their lives, so they can say those things.
Yeah, so I think for Andrew Tate, I kind of like him. He does put things in
Perspective.
He says, look, there's no gray area. It's either this or it's either that. So he is one way or the other.
yeah.
And I like that. He's clear cut. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes as a man, you need to be like that.
Yeah,
You need to be decision making, and you need to be able to just
Yeah.
stand on the spot and say, right, I don't want to do that, or I'm going to do this, or and stand your ground. So there's those things, but then there is also the element that we're coming back to social media.
Yeah.
So you got to say stuff that people want to hear. So
Yeah, I
to
guess,
get the
yeah.
views and to get all
Yeah.
of those things.
Look at Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So-
And there could also be the sponsors behind it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say, like,
endorsements, yeah.
I want you to promote this product, and we'll give you this much money if you say these things and make this video go viral. So there is a little bit of
the more
that.
controversial you are, the more likes and
so
stuff you get.
bringing the martial arts back into this and bringing masculinity into it, you got to just basically be humble in where you are at this
Yes,
point
yeah.
and try to build yourself for your family and the people around you. But I just don't like ego.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you've got an ego, then you're doing something wrong. But if
I don't think necessarily ego is toxic masculinity in terms of like what you say. That I had
I think they're two
the media
interact,
words that it's been,
interchange.
how I guess when you mentioned the media, so I'll stick on the media. How the media is, I guess labeled an act or an event or whatever as toxic masculinity, but I think ego can play into whatever that is, but I don't think it's like I can have an ego about something, but it's
There
not.
could be confidence. To me, confidence is I can
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
Ego is only I can do this.
Yeah,
Nobody
that's
else.
right.
That's
And
the
that's
difference.
the
It's very
difference.
simple, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can be confident. You can be teaching your class, 40 people in front of you, teaching them. That's the confidence. You know your stuff. But you tell them, only come to my school. I'm the best. Don't go there. Then there's an ego there.
Correct.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
I
how
agree
I
with that.
see it.
The-
But
same
people
with-
like Andrew Tate with I don't want to say his name too often, but like the thing is that it's very much about they've been given a platform, and that's what social media does.
Yeah.
It allows everyone to have a platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it allows everyone to have a voice. And at the same time as that, if you are controversial enough, if you can build a following, if you can become viral, if you say things which people disagree with as well as agree with, then it makes you a
Rich.
different rich, and that's the thing. And then you get the following, and this is what it's all about. They're just I wouldn't say puppets, but they're just using the system in a way which
Yeah.
benefits them as well.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. That's what popular culture is all about.
Yeah, you'll always get some people who are going to follow you, and someone disagree with you or agree with you, whatever. But I think we generalize one person with he or she may have one view, and we'll hate that person. There might be some amazing views they have, but we'll focus on that one, what they believe in.
I think that's a problem right
Yeah.
now. So this is
That's why we have
anyone
different
who has
political
anyone who has
parties.
a view that disagrees with
Yeah.
someone else's view, suddenly like cancel culture, right? Or suddenly they're ostracized. I can't even say the word. Ostracized. That one. And it's almost like, okay, you're suppressing a view. Yes, granted, if it's hurtful, if it's like a racist view or this view,
Yeah.
you're entitled to your own views. Like you can't have everybody view
course,
things the same way. Otherwise, it will be boring. We'll be robots, right? There's a difference between thinking of something, saying something out loud, and then
Inciting it,
and insulting someone, right? So there's completely different things. And I think a lot of people don't hear or see a difference of opinion. They just hear something they don't like until you jump on the fact that they don't like it, so it's something wrong. But if you look at anyone's opinions, like I'm happy to disagree with you on any point, right? You have your opinion and I have mine, and that's how we learn, right? any election that we've had two in this year.
Yeah.
We one in the UK, one in the US. Widely different opinions, right? But what are we gonna do? Fight each other because, like, I mean, in America it's different.
That's
maybe,
how I
but
see it.
we
In this
fight each
room,
other?
we may disagree, but if
Yeah.
I go online and start abusing you guys and say f this, f that, you know, they shouldn't have said that, you know, telling somebody to find where you live and attack you, that is, I think, going too far. We can disagree. We're grown-up adults, and then that's it. And we go out and we just, you know, have a drink. But I think it goes to two extremes sometimes, where people get really, really offended.
Keyboard warriors.
If you had the power to either defend the freedom of speech or defend the right not to get offended, which one would you go
Freedom
for?
of speech.
Freedom of speech.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone should be able to voice their opinions. You don't have to agree with everyone.
The right not to get offended. Everyone gets offended all the
Yeah,
time.
of course. Yeah.
Like you got. I mean, I would hate not to be able to say what I want to say freely.
Mm.
I understand. I'm not going to say everything I want to say to every single individual. Right?
You have to. Yeah, you have to be so
temper it.
careful.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I should be able to voice my opinions like I can here, whether it disagrees. I mean, you know, Sohail said, you know, about toxic masculinity ego. He said he likes some things that Andrew Tate says. That might trigger someone like, oh my God, you like that, but they didn't hear what he said, which was he likes certain aspects, which is reality, truth. He never said anything about anything that Andrew Tate's been arrested for, but he mentioned why he said it's like Donald Trump. If you've seen the debates he's had, right? I think the first turning point when he became president the first time was when he was with Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton talked about tax loopholes. And he said, I use them, so do all your donors, and so do you.
I'm just smarter than you.
I'm just smarter than you. And I use the system. It's there for me to use. And he was so honest that a lot of people I know in America were like, wow, finally someone in politics has admitted that they're doing this because it's open. And he said, if you wanted to close it, you should have closed it, but all your donors...
It resonated with them.
Exactly.
And that's what characters like that can do.
I'll tell you what, I remember something. When Prime Minister Theresa May was Home Secretary,
Yes.
Yeah.
there's a pickup artist called Julian from Real Social Dynamics, I think, and he was
Pickup artist.
Pickup artist, So he was coming to UK to meet
I know this, yeah.
So they banned him coming to UK from Sweden because his views about women.
Yeah.
And there's that
And
Theresa
how
May
they-
said, you can't come here.
Is this
because
the guy
of
who wrote
views."
2 books on this? Is it him?
Sorry?
He's got 2 books on this.
No,
I
this
don't know.
other guy.
Oh, it's another guy. Okay,
guy.
sorry.
He's married, this guy.
Not that I
I
have
think
his
he's
books.
like, he's
I
changed to
do.
become like Tony Robbins, motivation speaker. He helps men
But to help pick up women.
to become better in their lives.
Yeah.
So when they become better, they have money and they have, goals. They look after themselves. Then women will come into their lives. But if they're doing nothing, watching YouTube and eating Pringles, it's not going to happen. So he comes in and teaches men there are a lot of men out there who've got other issues like ADHD and stuff, and they struggle to find women. So he's coming here to help. He was banned to come here. 2 years later, Trump comes in power. Who was the first leader who went to shake his hands? Our prime minister.
Really?
Yeah, she was a prime minister. He has some views about women, Donald Trump, but he's got power.
Yeah.
So our own prime minister goes to other country to shake his hand. So the guy with no power was banned to come in this country. That's why I think it's like a double
Money and
standard.
power, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and like you said, there's some things a person may say you may not like, and some things you may like. You can't generalize him or her.
I think you nailed it there.
Yeah.
You need to help others to become better.
Yeah.
And then the individual should also think about working on themselves and not to impress everyone around them, but just to work on themselves to keep maybe their sanity, should we say,
Of course.
and to work on maybe if you've got a difficulty in your life, that might be your challenge, but everyone's going through something, and they should be working on that thing to
and
move
that's why there are
forward,
men out there
improve
helping these
yourself,
men.
yeah.
But then there are also other men who are using the system to actually take money from these men, and they learn nothing. So
Yeah.
there are some bad people out there as well. But there are some good people out there who want to help men.
But surely it's also about positive role models.
Of
and
course,
things like that.
Yeah.
So you can't buy that.
That's another
positive
question,
role
actually. So
model.
following on from what you said, like for that toxic masculinity, and then you mentioned Andrew Tate, which we all have an opinion on. The positive role models in this day and age, right? People are looking at role models, and who are these role models? There's a lot of young men who look at the Tate brothers as role models. Someone else will look at Jordan Peterson. Someone will look at Ben Shapiro, right, as role models.
Influencers as well.
Influencers
Influencers,
and loads of influencers, right? these are the world we're living in, which is the people who are on social media
Yeah.
and promoting their brand and growing their brand in whichever way are becoming role models, right?
Not Malcolm X or not Mahatma Gandhi. Or
Yeah, it's not the
they're
historical
not
role
active.
models
Yeah, they're
because
not
they're not active
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So, do we think that the generation who are looking at these as role models are going to be worse off in 10, 15 years' time when all of these role models has suddenly either been arrested, chucked in jail, or moved on with their life because they're no longer a role model or no longer there,
Yeah.
and
They've not left a legacy.
and the individuals have grown older. Are they going to be worse off, or are they going to be
If they
just
left a
as
legacy
like we
behind.
were?
Yeah.
But then, like that, the question around that is very much that you have to remember that you don't just have one role model; you have multiple role models all
You
around you.
hope,
Yeah, you know what you'd hope, but then like unless you're gonna sit in a box like or a room and only look at social media, you will be going out. Like lots of kids are going to school, college. They've got friends. They might have role models which are friends. They might have teachers. They might do a sport. There's lots of things. The problem with social media is that it's on their phone 24/7. Yeah, they'll be looking at that. They'll be resonating with some of the messaging that's going out, and they're following that. Where the physical, and this is why maybe martial arts, but also sports in general, a lot of parents want their kids to be doing these activities because they're hoping they get positive influence from those
as humans,
scenarios.
we are tribal, so we need to be part of a tribe, a community, and that community tribe is now going on social media. So if you are part of 10,000 people, you feel connected. I have the same view as these 10,000 people. You know, how can they all be wrong?
I think influencers is, if you want to influence a group of people, you got to be in contact or in line with the current ongoings. So you spoke about Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali and
Mahatma Gandhi, we just mentioned.
Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah, so these guys, they were dealing with the issues at that time. So coming to Andrew Tate, maybe he's dealing with the issues of this time. So that's why he has a lot of followings. But then on the other side of that coin is, I don't want to follow that. You know, someone might not agree with it. So you'll always have two sides. So that's what maybe makes these people famous. So in terms of their legacy, it might not mean anything later on, but
for
they
now
still
it's
did
relevant
something
now.
in their time.
Some people follow them in spite as well, that they don't resonate with their voice, but
Just
they're
for
happy
watching.
to watch.
So some of your
It's like
haters are
Arsenal
your
fan
best
TV.
fans.
Yeah.
We watch AFTV back in the day when they had the two or three characters on there. I don't support Arsenal, but I'd follow that channel just to watch
Just to know.
the
And
craziness
I
in it.
also think when the American elections were going on, a lot of people like Trump, but they're not going to say it to you.
Yeah.
They're always going to say, "Oh, I'm going to vote for." If I was in USA, I'll vote for Kamala Harris or Biden or the Democrats. But they actually won't do that. Behind scenes, they're probably going to vote for Republicans or Trump because they like him. But it's just they want to meet those people who like Trump. Then they can say to them, I like Trump." So they're kind of saying something different to your face. And then like Brexit, they went behind and then
still
they
voted
voted
for
something
him,
else.
so,
And I think that's not congruent. And I think and it's unhealthy. Just like you said, say who you are, what you believe in. And again, by doing that as well, you might risk being hated as well, I guess.
I think
So
that's
people
the
are-
thing.
yeah.
I think a lot of people are scared of voicing their honest opinion because they don't want to feel the hate coming back to them. And I think maybe if we look at these videos, I mean, I'm on social media. I watch these videos in America. It's a lot more prevalent in America than it is over here. I'd have to say, like even though they have freedom of speech, they say something wrong, bam, someone's on you. Over here, it's not as much, or I don't notice that much. So you can have a difference of opinion, but I think others are willing to ask you why do you have that opinion, or not jump on you straight away, right, and listen to you. Maybe disagree, maybe understand. Okay, I get it.
But also, if you're a successful athlete and you let's say sponsored by, for example, Mercedes or Red Bull, you have a view about something and you say on social media, you're fired.
You're cancelled.
Almost like you could be world number one, but because you said something that did not align with majority of views, you're done.
It's all
So they're not
political
going
at
to
the
say
end of
That's
the
what
day,
you
isn't it?
said. It can just be taken away like
Taken
that.
away just like
just
that.
like that,
Well, look at what happened with Gary Lineker a few years ago. There was that big controversy. Everyone backed him, but the BBC were against him just because they were like, "You're not allowed to openly voice an opinion on his personal social media."
Which actually says these are my opinions and not the BBC before he'd done it.
But this is the thing. Everyone has a voice on social media. You choose what voice that you want to come out with. You can have your own opinions. But
opinions are based on information that you have, and that information can change.
So do you really have freedom of speech
Yeah, that's
if it's going to be
based on. Yeah.
On
Based
social
on-
media, it's
yeah,
challenging.
it's-
That answer is really challenging because on social media, things
It's
can
there.
be.
Once it's there, it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, so it's like this whole thing about Trump and David Lammy so many years ago
Said something.
Oh, yeah.
said something, and then it was just like come back to haunt him as soon as Trump was
You got to
re-elected.
be very careful when you're high in position not to say some things about other countries because
Yeah.
one day you'll have to deal with that.
Unless you're Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
can say what you want.
No, but that's the thing. Some people have the confidence to say, "I will say whatever I want," and whatever the backlash is, I will still get through this.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Trump is probably
personally
one of those
think
characters.
when you have, there's a book I read called Prince. What was it, guys? That's the author's name. It said countries are won by soldiers, empires are built by alliances. So when you're rich like Elon Musk and you got money and you got people around you, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
When you don't have that power, no money, you're just somewhere at the bottom.
Yeah,
you
you
can't.
can't say it.
Yeah, someone can't beat you up, man. That's it. And I think your status and power.
You have to fight
once
the
you-
war.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. That's what happens. Yeah, that's it. Actually, we've got a few minutes, but there's a new thing on my show I'm introducing today. I have a few questions here. What I'm going to do is, they're only 12 questions, but I'm going to give you all a chance. So you're going to pick a number between 1 and 12, and then I'll ask you a question on that particular number. And then in the end, you pick one number, and then I'll answer that as well.
So we're guinea pigs.
So that's it. You are the first. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hopefully this will work. All right. So between 1 and 12, Master Lad,
9.
9. What was your most valuable lesson from last year and why?
Wow.
I would say health
Okay.
and not taking it for granted. I think I've had different experiences over the past year. One of them personal and close to me, and even in my friend circle, where you realize that, waking up in the morning, being able to get out of bed, being able to walk, run, exercise,
stuff, yeah.
eat well, be able to go to work or like spend time with your loved ones. That's all comes down to health, but also circumstance.
Yeah.
And you need to live each day as it's your best day because you don't know when that could be taken away.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
And all it takes is for one thing to happen and it can be all taken away. And then you don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
So that's my one
We
thing.
all love you, Master Lad.
Thank you.
Sir, you pick a number. Can't say 9.
Oh, I thought I got the same question.
No.
Okay.
Because
He
time.
answered it the same
Yeah,
way I would
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. So no, I'm going
Number
to change my
4
mind
then.
now. Yeah.
Ah, yes,
Number 4.
I got my number still.
Number 4.
4.
What is your greatest fear?
Deep.
Well, no, I have got a real phobia.
Not meeting Andrew Tate.
I would actually mind.
Spiders!
I wouldn't mind meeting him. He's all right. I wouldn't mind. I think I have a good conversation with him.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is I'm actually claustrophobic. So I've been in a cave before. I don't know what they call it. Cave
Batman
dive.
cave?
No, it was a real cave. And I did take a few risks in there. But I think maybe the fear has come from there. But things that I've read around where people have got stuck in tight spaces.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just hate that feeling, and you just can't move.
Yeah.
So that's my greatest fear. I think life can make you feel like that.
Of course, yeah.
So claustrophobia is probably the biggest fear. But when life does hit you like that, you gotta just, like I say to everyone, make a list, prioritize.
Yeah.
If you can do it in 2 minutes, knock those out, you'll feel better because you've done so many things in a short space of time. Then tackle the most important thing on that list and start challenging. Get through the challenges and tackle everything one by one, and then move everything away. But keep your loved ones close.
And
So
your
that's
enemy's closer.
wow. Enemies are always close.
Is this room too claustrophobic?
Yeah.
No, this is
that's
fine.
all.
There's no space here. I was talking about being literally in
Master
that
P?
little
That's
space.
You pick a number.
Lucky number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah, I was happy you guys didn't take number 7. I might regret it in a minute.
Oh, wow. I like this one.
Oh, wicked.
What personal legacy do you want to leave for yourself or your children?
So I don't have any children, so
yourself.
for myself, nothing.
Oh, man. Why?
Do you know why? Because I don't look at it as like, I don't want to leave anything for
Okay.
anything. if it's more a case of what people remember me by, it's just for making them feel good and happy.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, cool.
Like
Yeah.
nothing else. I don't want to be this popular. I don't want. I don't have.
You don't want a statue of yours built somewhere in Harrow.
Maybe that might be nice.
Yeah.
Not in Harrow, no. But as long as I've made a difference in someone else's life to the positive, whatever it may be. Maybe
Yeah.
it's one joke they've laughed,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
or I've helped them out with
Yeah.
career or whatever it
You
may
helped
be.
me out many times as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Okay.
So that's it.
Oh, cool.
Maybe it's not the right. Like you maybe you wanted like a 3-minute answer.
No,
but
no, it's fine.
That was it.
It's simple.
I
yeah.
just like
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
No big thing.
It's like someone asking, "Why do you do this?" I said, "Why not?"
Yeah.
That's it. I don't like it. That's why I
It's
do
fun.
it. Yeah.
I enjoy it.
All right, you guys pick one number for me. Just one number. So you've taken 4, 7, and 9 out.
4, 7, and 9.
I say 5.
Number 1.
You want to go? Okay.
No, that's you're first. 5 is
man.
We
good.
got dice. We should
Not
have rolled
one.
a dice.
Number 1.
He
Is
said,
that the worst one? Well, he said 5 first.
You should have
so-
2. You should have a pair of dice.
Do both of them.
you should
roll
have
the
next
dice.
for the next one. You get a
Roll the
dice.
dice,
And
yeah.
we have to roll it for you.
Number 1.
Yeah,
I'm
go on,
good with
one.
that, yeah.
Share something you've never told anyone before. Blah.
We know everything.
Oh, man.
No.
Jesus. What was that?
Keep it PG, yeah.
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 Not told anyone before. I think I've told everyone everything.
We can change the number if you
Some,
want.
Yeah, go for 5.
Just want to get 5.
No, he said it first.
I
Get
said
5.
five.
I changed to 5.
No,
if
it's
you can't
fine.
think
I
of
don't
anything.
mind. I think there's one thing that maybe I've not told. Yes, I don't mind sharing this. This is when I was born in East Africa, Tanzania. My parents don't know about this. Okay, so
But they don't know where you were born.
no, I used to on a weekly basis get beaten up and bullied and spat on for being Indian because the country has got many Africans.
Yeah.
So I was a minority there amongst my friends as well. And I could never, ever defend myself. I was quite tiny, very skinny. And I was very angry, but I couldn't do anything. And I think going back in that time has made me who I am today, probably. In a way, in a nicer way, doing martial arts and being a coach and then helping people, like you said, helping others. That experience has made me who I am. So if I had to go really far back when I was 9, 10 years old, yeah, that's the one that got me. So, and I can see the faces of people who were doing this to me as well, even right now. I will probably never seen them, but you know what? Thank you for doing that to me because of that, where I am today, doing this podcast. So, and also all the stuff that I've learned from then onwards. But that was the thing that I've not told people here.
Does that come back to you? Do you
Sometimes it
often
does.
reflect on that?
Yeah, it does. Whenever I go back home holidays, I think if I bump into that person again, what would I do? My emotional, my reptilian brain goes, I'll just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
But my rational mind goes, no, man, it's okay.
Yeah.
He won't remember me probably because I was so young. So just let it go. And that's the thing, as I've got older, not taking anything personally and letting it go has made me really relaxed and not, worry about it, no stress. It's fine. If you have any issues with me, you've done horrible things, I forgive you and then I don't associate with you. I'm done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that has
that's
made
the
me
best
really,
way.
really like a better human being.
Mm-hmm.
And
I find words and actions can be so dangerous
Yeah.
because what can be said or done by one person,
yeah,
which for them might be a very throwaway action or comment,
yeah.
might be life scarring or
someone
life changing for
Yeah.
someone else, and the other person might not even know.
Yeah.
That's
Of
the
course,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And they won't even say it. And then one day,
Yeah.
either take revenge or they may
Yeah.
meet each other and they're going to say, this is what you did to me.
Yeah,
So
so they
we-
say bruises heal,
Yeah.
but words you remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's
And
the
they
biggest
had
scar.
words for me in Swahili, in African language, what they call
Yeah.
me. So I remember all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, and to be honest, in this country, 30 years, probably been racially abused 3 times probably. But more in the country that I was born in. So I personally think, racism doesn't just work between one color and the other. It does in a way, but depending on the majority population. If you live in Africa, the majority are Africans. So they may not, like people are Europeans or Japanese because they are minority. So wherever you're minority, you will probably get picked on. In this country, we are the minorities. So if I went to India, there'll be other minorities in religion probably. So I think minorities do get picked on sometimes. And that's where I, don't like getting, those labels and stuff and calling them names because they are just a small number in the country or community.
I think when you're on the receiving end,
Yeah.
then you learn.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then you don't want other people
I
to
think
go
it's,
through
it's,
it
it's the
either.
environment that you grow up in, right? It could
Absolutely.
be, and I think racism isn't just people with darker skin
yeah.
colors getting racist abuse versus those who are
Yeah.
lighter. It works every way.
Of course, yeah.
Right? And it's and no child is born a racist.
Yeah, yeah.
They learn that.
Of course.
Social
Playground,
norms,
home.
things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just social norms. It's the environment. It's the mentality of their parents or the environment that they're in.
Yeah.
Maybe there's been an incident that's happened in their life,
Yeah.
and then they've just assigned themselves with a group
Yeah.
which is keeping them protected
course, yeah.
or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It could be a number of things, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I think it's not set to one group. But I think I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 82,
Yeah.
and I faced it. Funny enough, it was just the 80s. Something hit 90s, I never faced it again.
Yeah.
It was a different type of bullying, right?
Of course, yeah.
And then I think we went back to it earlier. And I just want to say this: when I started Taekwondo, martial arts at 17. After that, it was, and I noticed this, people look at you differently,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize why. And it wasn't that I became such a brute force or anything. I wasn't. I was skinny. I was it was just the confidence.
Confidence. the
Right,
way
you don't
walk,
realize
the way
you just
carry yourself.
generated some confidence, and the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, and you just end up becoming a bit more happier, right? And it was just different. It was
It's funny because when I travel to Europe, I go on my own sometimes. People look at me, shaved head. He's Buddhist or is extremist. They don't know what's going on. They don't pick on me.
It's just with
Yeah, I
circumstance.
know. When I went to India, Hare Rama Krishna said, "Oh, for you it's 10% off in our hotels." I said, "I'm not about Hare Rama Krishna. It's just I could have used that 10% off, but yeah, it's just perception people have."
Yeah.
I think Jamie Foxx, the actor, he was talking about racism,
Yeah.
and he said it's about perception and how you see others, not racism. He said how you've been conditioned, and he gave an example. He said if you when you're boarding a flight.
Yeah.
And you're about to go on a plane, you'll see the cockpit and there's a pilot there. You'll see the captain on the left-hand side. And he said it could be a sunny day, amazing weather. It could be a female pilot or a non-white pilot. And you may think, damn, I hope they've got enough hours to fly this plane. But it could be a tornado, it could be raining, but it could be a good-looking European guy with a nice watch, and he'll say, yeah, he's okay. Because you're conditioned the European person will fly the plane better. It's like he said, that's a perception they've been grown into. So if it's a gender or different race, you're going to think, so how many hours have they done? It's happened in sports as well, in athletics.
Yeah.
100 meters when, Africans and Caribbeans were doing well, they said, let's look at their genetics. Let's look at the social side. Why are they doing so well? So you question things that you are not used to when they start succeeding.
It's probably better you don't know who the pilot is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hate flying. I take trains now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Fair enough.
We come to an end of the show, guys. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for
I
having
got
us.
Thank you
some.
for having us.
I got
Yep.
some dude wipes in case things got emotional, but we didn't have to use
Stay
them.
away
But
from
yeah,
the
no,
dude
thanks for
wipes.
coming down. We could have spoken for even longer. I think I love these because when I speak to 2 or 3 people, I can probably book for 2 hours and we can just start chatting. But yeah, any last thoughts before we end?
Well, thanks for having us. It's
Yeah,
been really,
thanks for having
really
us.
good.
That's fine. That's okay.
Stay
and like
humble.
you said, we could have carried on chatting for
Yeah.
hours. So
Cool.
It's been good.
Thank you,
It's
people.
been a good
See you
time
again
here,
soon.
yeah.
Bye bye.
Cool.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks for watching Confessions with Coach K. Please don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe.